All right, Solomon. So I'm just going through your list here real fast. We've already determined what was going on at this house with it being super beat up. I think that was in a previous video. So I'm moving on to Ivanhoe, and you're probably spot on with your ARV. I know this neighborhood, um, and purchase price. I'd almost agree with it. So let me take a look at this, and I'll get back to you. So yeah, I think we're both in line on Ivanhoe. You had an ARV of 760. Actually, I was about 715. So the ones I look at are so in this neighborhood, these are tricky. So this is a Tudor. This part of town, let me kind of zero out. This part of town has a bunch of old houses, and different style of houses go for more money. And this is just something you're just going to learn as you progress in this. And I also want to point out Monaco separates a really expensive neighborhood over here to a less expensive neighborhood here, and then it gets less and less expensive as it goes this way. And it typically gets more expensive as it goes down and more expensive as it goes into downtown. So anyways, that's just kind of a quick rundown. But I see your 760 here, and I would probably want to go with that. But here's my hangups. There's a 715 over here, which is a Tudor. This is, I forget the name of the style of this house. This is not a Tudor. This is a Tudor house. So just looking at the style, you have these kind of peak ridges. Those are called Tudor houses. So you got the same look here. And this one's pretty fixed up. It's a 715. Well, it's okay, right? It's not as nice as the other one. So let's take a look at this one. So again, another Tudor. This is more original. Well, no, this is pretty nice. This is pretty nice in there. Well, I wouldn't call it a fresh rehab, but they had it at 750, went down to 740, sold it at 715. So I'd be more inclined to come in at this property at 715 than the 760. And here's why. Here's another look at this that I picked up. Check out this 530 over here. So this is also a Tudor, sold for 530. It was a fix-up, like ours, and very similar house. And so it is sold for 530, which if we put in 715 on this, that would get us closer to that 530, which is kind of what I was thinking. So I just want to warn you that this part of town is going to be very tricky. I struggle with this area of town quite a bit for many years, and then also Highlands right here, just because the buyers are very much more high-end and certain styles go for more money. You'll run into that a little bit in Littleton, and you're going to pick up on that as you get better at this, so don't worry about it. But that's probably why I would go with these, just based on this and these two, and versus that 760. So, and then one other thing, you had a question about this one only had, looks like 2 pictures, and so we're not seeing the inside. So that's when I go down to here and I just check what they're saying in here, and they're saying right here the property is a fix-up. So just assume that the house inside is trashed, that we're going to put $80 to $100,000 into it to fix it up. So anyways, so that's that one on. Sorry, I was a little long-winded on that one. These are tough in this area of town. So I'm going to pause this and take a look at the other ones. All right, so your next one is this 2481 Ivanhoe. And it's actually pending, so I'm just going to grade this out. You know what? We can just sort of back up offer. That's probably fine. Because what were we going to offer? We were going to offer. Well, we could offer quite a bit more, right? So, but let me just kind of go over this real fast with you. So this is a great example of comping close to the highway. So this is a different area. So when you get around like I-25, I-70, 270, when you get pretty close to it, within a few blocks, you have what's called noise pollution. Because if you're living right here, you can hear that highway just buzzing all day and all night, and it actually decreases the value of the property. So this is the same. 70 is even worse. So along 70, if you're living, let's say you're living right here, it's awful because I mean they even got walls up trying to block the noise, but it's just loud and you just got constant noise blaring through here. So on both sides of this highway, really, I would say 3, 4, 5 blocks in, or even to be safe, just take, or not blocks, houses, but taking it up a block is when you start to stop hearing that noise. So I have a video on my training that talks about that. So when you're comping these properties close to the highway like this one, because we're right here, you're going to be hearing that highway. So we want to really put more weight on these two comps versus I think you are putting more weight on this comp here, which is almost a block away, well, half a block away, versus these are much closer. So let's just take a look at this real fast. So yeah, pretty trashed. So and then also another thing I want to point out, when you pull up these properties, one of the first things I look at this Ivanhoe is at 450. I immediately, when I click on this and I have my actives, pendings, and solds, if I'm at the very bottom of this sold list, if my price is, I get pretty excited about that property. I know that it's probably a good deal and it's going to probably go pretty fast. So like this one is 450. We're clear down here on the solds for the last, was it 6 months or a year? 6 months. So we know that this property is probably going to go pretty fast if it's at least standing up, right? So anyways, let's get back to this. So right here we got 450, we got this 683, and it was pretty nice, really nice inside actually. 683, and then this one is right up against the highway at 650. Why in the world they painted it red? You're beyond me. But inside is it absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. So you even have the red fire extinguisher there. So I would probably put the most weight on this comp, which is closer to proximity to the highway than this one. So I would probably say like 680, on this one versus I think you had in there, 700. So it puts us at 505. So then we're still 50,000 above list price. So what I would do in this is I would put a little pressure on, it's pending right now. So let's go ahead and submit a backup offer on it. So let's put it in there for 460 to 500. And maybe that puts a little pressure on the current contract. Maybe they're going to try to beat them up on inspections. Maybe this is higher than that other contract, and so the other contract's going to try to come back and get the price drop or something like that, and they just cancel it, and they'll be like, hey, we're going to go with you now. So that's the game that we're going to play on this one, because we already missed it. It went pending, and that's going to happen less and less because you're not going to wait on me to check on this stuff for you right now. We're going to miss a few of these because you're waiting on me to check on this stuff. But anyways, that is that. So I'm going to move on to the next one. All right, so here's another one. This is your 10893 Elm Drive. This is another one that they have 4 pictures, but they have nothing of the inside. And then they got this ugly AstroTurf that I hate, but some people seem to love it. But anyways, so they want 409 for this. And you don't really know what the inside looks like. So this is when you got to go down and read what's going on in the public remarks, and to see if you can get a clue to what's going on. In the private remarks, that's just the agents. So if you read this, it kind of sounds like, won't last long. So exclude, seller shall replace refrigerator with another unit to match white existing appliances. So they have white appliances in there. You know they're going to replace the refrigerator. They're going to try to sell this for the much money as they can, obviously, because they're replacing a refrigerator. But yeah, so looks like I'd still throw an offer at it. They don't even have pictures up. They're probably in such a rush to sell it. And it looks like this property right here was a different property. It's misplaced on the map, so I wouldn't worry about that one. Sometimes when you run across this double sold, I pay attention to that. This isn't one. This is a different property, but sometimes you'll see two solds on one house like this, and that means somebody bought it and then they relisted it, and I usually don't put offers on those, but that one's a separate property. So, but yeah, I mean, I looked at some of the comps. Yeah, I think you probably in that 400 to 420 mark. Here's one that's pretty nice at 400 or 379, 1,700 square foot. We're a little bigger. We're at 19, almost 2,000 square foot. So you got it at 420. Let's see where we found your 420 at. I saw this 410, 417. That is our house. I'm going to pause this, take a quick look so I can talk through this. Quick mistake corrected here. It didn't sell for it didn't sell for 379, 380. It actually sold for 400. So they had this price too low. I just want to correct that real fast. So that was one of the comps that I was looking at close by right here. So that's a tri-level. So like a main level, and you kind of go up a half a flight of stairs and go down a flight of stairs. So that's a tri-level. This is a ranch that we're comparing to. This is a two-story. Pretty nice. I didn't see any ranches close by that would work. That 325 is not going to work. I think it's not. No, they don't have a picture. So I see this 410, this 417. That's a two-story. That's a two-story. So I didn't see your. That's a two-story way off in the distance. So I'd be more inclined to probably go with, 400 on this one, or even 410 than the 420. But you're pretty darn close. So let's move on. All right. So this last one is 5381 82nd Avenue. And I don't know if I'm missing something here or what. I can't even find a value of 620 no matter what I do. So I originally did our original way that we searched, which was 360. I did 180, did our square foot range, couldn't find it there. So I went up 360, couldn't find it there, and then took out all square footage and zeroed down on the property like I've taught. And I still am not finding any properties in the area for 620. So I'm not sure where that came from. So anyways, this one's pending anyhow. So it went under contract. I'm curious how much it went under contract for, but I would really have this one pegged probably around 500 at best. So I mean, these are really nice houses over here, but these are two-story newer builds. This is this is a ranch, needs a lot of work. So I'm super curious what that went under contract for, but I'm just not seeing anything in the neighborhood at any square footage, even at 500. So this one's tough. So I would just not even worry about throwing an offer on this. I'm just going to grade out. If I struggle to find an ARV, and if I really struggle at it, sometimes I'll just throw an extremely low offer at it and move on, or I'll just not throw an offer at all. So we've got some 500s over here, and there's a ranch, and let's just take a look at this. I mean, this one's really nice inside, right? So I'd probably be more inclined at around 500 on this one. We can throw a backup offer on it. I wonder if somebody came in at 365 and is snagging it up. So we can throw an offer and see what happens. So that's the end of that. So I'm going to send you this spreadsheet. You can go ahead and send out these offers. and I'll send you this link so you can watch this. Overall, great job. Still really impressed with your work. I'm just going to start really kind of nitpicking on you a little bit as we get more into this throughout the week, so to help you get dialed in to these numbers pretty precisely. But overall, I'm really impressed. I think you are picking up on this extremely quickly, probably more quickly than just about anybody I've ever trained on this. So I think you're going to do quite well. So I'm going to save this and send it over to you and look at the rest of them.